Well, thanks for staying with us. You're watching Daybreak. 22422 is the SMS line, and the hashtag is Daybreak this morning. What's been your highlight this week? Of course, there's been many things happening this week, including the very sad incident around the border menace. Please let us know using those contacts of ours. But let me also allow my guest to weigh in on this, and I'll introduce them afresh. We have the Senator for Nandi County, Samson Cherargei. Welcome to the program. Together with the Governor, Machakos County, Dr. Alfred Mutua. Welcome to the program as well.
Asante sana.
Dr. Mutua, let me start with you. 7 days since we last saw you here in studio. What's been your highlight of those last 7 days?
It's been a very interesting time. We had big rallies, but before I start, let me say jumbo to our viewers and listeners from all over the world, and our panelists, some of them who may join us, and saying that it is a great day. And I nearly cancelled. I was quite sleepy because yesterday I attended a birthday party of Eric Omondi, you know, the creative young man. He turned 40.
Okay.
So he said now he's on the 4th floor. And it was a very happy birthday to you, Eric Omondi. I like this talent. You know, you look at Churchill, Ndambuki, and they have grown the talent in this country of our young people, where you can actually make money from entertainment, good money, you know, that you can actually. So if you see a child singing, dancing, acting, support it. Sio lazima kila mtu akuwe daktari, akuwe lawyer, akuwe nini. So how we used to be pushed. You know, I studied journalism. Here I am as a governor, and I'll be president of this country one day, God willing. So it is not what you do, it is how much you've got burning in your chest. So happy birthday, Eric, but I'm glad I'm here. We had a good time. We've had Azimio rallies. We hosted Raila Odinga in Machakos in one of the biggest rallies. He came over to the White House and we had breakfast, and we had a good rally. We took jabs at Deputy President William Ruto, you know, because he went all the way to the US to see our White House. I forgot to send him a pin, so he could have come and seen the Machakos one. But it was just in good jest. And I think, you know, in politics, you've got to make fun of each other at all times, because these guys have all been friends. Apart from that, we're looking at development also. I'm very keen that even as public officials, even though we are in the political scene, that we still engage in development, because we're still being paid salaries for the next 6 months. So I can't just get the salary. So I've been very busy at home working on development.
Let me get one thought from you before I allow the good senator to weigh in as well. I want to refer you to the front page of the Daily Nation. And this is all about coalition building, which is actually one of the big topics I want us to look at today. Make or break for talks with Kalonzo. This weekend, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga expected to be named the Azimio la Umoja flag bearer. Will these talks between Kalonzo and Raila bear fruit? From where you sit, what are you hearing?
Well, I think it's come to a point where it doesn't matter in reality. It doesn't matter whether Kalonzo comes to Azimio or not, because it's gone to a point where people are fed up with his dilly-dallying. It will be ideal, and we welcome him with open hands to come to Azimio. Some of us who are principled made our stand a long time ago and decided, okay, let's give up our presidential candidature to Raila Odinga, give him the Mandela moment to come and unite the country so he can move to the next level. And you've seen the threats by KANU. They're saying that they can't wait for that long. I met Mheshimiwa Jirongo at a restaurant not so long ago, and I could see his frustration. They're all frustrated. And Oka came in together, but when Museveni bolted, sijui mulimpatia nini, not Museveni, Mudavadi, bolted to your outfit, I think everything started going haywire.
Must they have given him something? Couldn't he have chosen to leave on his own volition?
I don't know. Maybe he was not given anything in his own volition, but if history is anything to go by, and having dealt with these gentlemen and characters for a while, I know how the games are played. But unlike some of us in Azimio who have joined out of a feeling that we need to be in a team that believes in a certain ideology for this country. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. So Kalonzo is now a non-starter. You saw the rallies we had in Machakos. They were humongous. We had a humongous rally in Machakos. We had a big one in Mulongo. We had a big one in Athi River. People came out. We've listened to the ground. People have joined Azimio. Whether Kalonzo comes or not, the train has already left the station. And so now he's coming basically to rescue himself. And it would be good if he came, because we want to get the whole Ukambani block without somebody playing a spoiler for their own personal benefit.
Okay,
that's all I can say. So I hope it works out and is able to join, but without conditionalities. Maendeleo Chap is a political party, and NAC, all the other parties that have joined, even Jubilee and others, we've gone into Azimio with no preconditions. Nobody has given preconditions. Even KANU, they're not giving any preconditions. So Kalonzo Musyoka is the only one giving preconditions. You know, it's a sense of entitlement that needs to be told that, hey, wakati umepita, you know, the world has changed. Okay, that's your view. Let me give the good senator a chance to give us his moment of the week. What has that been? Before I ask one or two other questions. And thank you for wearing the Maendeleo Chap colors.
It is good morning, viewers and listeners. It's good to be always here. Two things, I think, for us, personally, I've been in Nandi since I left here on Thursday, crisscrossing and engaging the people as the nominations come up on April. And all has been well in Kisumu for the CPIC, Committee of Public Accounts. And Kisumu is routonated because they are my neighbors. Been Aldai, Tindred, and many other areas. You said
routonated?
Yeah, routonated, because I was able to interact here and there. But all has been well. People are more enlightened. People are following the national politics. People are ready to do peaceful and fair elections, especially in Nandi County, because I was in Chemuswa, I was in Aldai, a place called Chemobo, I was in Sokosik, in a place called Tindred, among other areas. So the week has been, of course, very well. Quickly, in what you have asked, about the coalition building, I think what I can say at this point in time is that I don't know why these people are falling around Kalonzo Musyoka. I think because he has 1.6 million votes. And what Governor Mutua does not want to agree is that Kalonzo Musyoka is undisputed Ukambani kingpin. And that shows the frustration, because if Kalonzo is not adding any value, why would they even care about talking about it? And you know, KANU, by the way, has been Azimio all along. I don't know why people are shocked. Number three, my brother Mahiga, you remember Kalonzo Musyoka tabled an agreement before media. I think a personal statement, he called it personal statement, but anyway, we ended up as public knowing. He said Raila had assured them after 2 terms, or is it after running for 2 terms, he should endorse Kalonzo Musyoka. I think Kalonzo has every right to tell the country what happens, because we really want to know what is happening behind it. Remembering that Governor Mutua and his allies, Governor Ngilu, Governor Kivuta Kibwana, were accusing Kalonzo of demanding money. And even Governor Mutua has said on this show that Kalonzo Musyoka is demanding money, and he will tell us how much it is, because I found it obnoxious, since Kalonzo Musyoka is a God-fearing person. So let these people allow Kalonzo Musyoka to be, let him be. If he wants to run for president to the full length, it's okay. If he wants to join, and we welcome him to Kenya Kwanza, because if his friends who are in NASA, who are frustrated, who are blackmailed and intimidated, are already in Kenya Kwanza, Moses Wetangula, Musalia Mudavadi, then he's welcome. And you know, I've had my brother here and even the party leader of ODM saying Azimio is coalition of the willing. It is not. People who are in coalition, who we are in talks with, have complained that whenever you don't appear in a rally, like the governors of Northeastern, you saw Governor Ali Korane is facing corruption allegations. Governor of Busia, Sospita Ojamong, is facing corruption allegations. All these people who are surrounding Raila Odinga are supporting not out of the willing, but because of intimidation. Even Governor Graito Murungi. Graito Murungi the other day had second thoughts of not working with Azimio. But Asubaru was sent with the files of allegations of corruption from EACC. Where is the proof? So of course, as he has said, we talk. And he knows what is happening. These are some of the intimidations that is happening. So when Governor Mutua should just tell us that, in fact, the better word he should have used should have been, it is about interests. not even about Kenyan interests, but individual interests, survival. And you know, many people think that Raila Odinga might go for only for one term, and therefore people who are like Mutua and the rest think that if he goes for one term, they'll get an opportunity. But I want to assure you, as Kenya Kwanza and United Democratic Alliance, we are in talks with any and every Kenyan that we are talking about. And that is why when William Ruto and Musalia Mudavadi jets back to the country, either later today or during the weekend, on 15, there is an NDC for United Democratic Alliance to give William Ruto to be the presidential candidate of UDA. Then we will start now negotiating a working formula between Senator Moses Wetangula and His Excellency Musalia Mudavadi. So all those things shall be discussed then. But I think for Azimio, they are confused because now they are telling President Uhuru Kenyatta, you need to chair talks. President Uhuru Kenyatta, and I said last week, I think we were with Sam, that President Uhuru Kenyatta himself has a history of betrayal. He betrayed Mudavadi in 2013. Between 2013 to 2017, 2017 to 2018, what he said about William Ruto, he has now changed. So I'm shocked that Kalonzo Musyoka is telling him, can you come and chair the Azimio deal between Jubilee...
You're speaking about your party leader.
No, of course. I've left. I'm now in United Democratic Alliance. I've found a good home. You can go to Register Policy. Yes, formally. I wish I forgot in my car. I should have tabled the resignation letter, and that has been stamped by Jubilee and Register of Political Parties.
You've handed it over?
Yes, I've handed it over. Even if you check eCitizen, I don't know how long it will take. But I have already left Jubilee. The only Jubilee we have left is the one running that insurance company. So what I wanted to conclude before my brother responds, just conclude.
Yes.
That's why I'm saying Uhuru Kenyatta, when I see Kalonzo Musyoka talking about Uhuru to chair some of these talks, I always get scared because the history of President Uhuru Kenyatta, the history of President Uhuru Kenyatta has not been good in terms of negotiating coalition agreements. Okay. So I would say that that Kalonzo Musyoka let him allow be. If he wants to join any coalition, if he wants to run for president, let it be just a Kenyan like all of us.
And we'll take some of those views as your personal views.
Of course.
You have not tabled evidence of Subarus outside people's homes.
It's true.
Go ahead, Dr. Mutua.
You know,
and as we talk about interest, also please tell us, could interest be delaying the finalization of some of these coalitions?
Yeah, and it's personal interest, not interest about the jobless young men in this country, about the women who are struggling with single mothers, as most of them. It's personal interest, and therein lies the problem. Now, let me reply to a few things. One of them is about Kalonzo running the full length, as he has said. You see, that is the scenario, and we are aware, I'm aware, that UDA has been talking to Kalonzo Musyoka because they believe he is not principled, so they can talk to him.
What?
And he'll and one of the
is that a fair point to make?
It's not principled.
About talking, yeah, because you see, either you're in one side or in the other side. You don't, today you're not here, you laugh in the morning, in the evening you laugh over here. And we've got intelligence sources that have shown us how he's talking to everyone. And I think the game here by UDA would be Kalonzo to run by himself, so that now he divides the Ukambani vote. So that now the whole vote doesn't go to Azimio. Raila is very popular. We've popularized him. We, the three governors, were elected. We were not chosen. You know, you can say Kalonzo used to be a kingpin. Yes, I agree. Used to be is the key word. The kingpin of Ukambani. Go to the ground. Things have changed. But we don't want him to come and spoil, for those who are not aware of the dynamics of politics, so that some votes do not go to Raila, and therefore Ruto, in extent, gets a win. Basically, so they have been pushing him. And then he's been talking about, and his people, even on air, even here on Citizen, have been talking about a post, election coalition. Ndio akwe hapo katikati, and then whoever wins, then he can jump there. So he's not anataka kuingilia gari ikiwa kwa mteremko. Watu wengine wasukume, alafu akwe hapo, so that whoever wins anaruka. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, principled. And they have been pushing him for that, because that's the best scenario for UDA and for Ruto, who will be Kalonzo to go at it alone. But you see, the others have said, ukienda, uko peke yako. And Kambas are not stupid, you know. We may have followed Kalonzo because we believe that he stood for something, but history has shown over time that you can't be lied to all the time. And, and still by the lie. Now, about coalition of willing, you know, nobody has coerced a lot of us to join Azimio. It's what we believe in. It's an ideological framework from where we've begun from a long time ago. And I am not, for example, let's take myself as an example. You won't hear that I was talking to Ruto in the middle of the night, and then during the day I'm talking to Raila. I'm not that kind of person. When I come to this show, and I like my Senator Cherangai here, he's principled. Hautasikia ati leo yuko hivi, leo kesho yuko hivi. He's taken his stand from the very beginning. Alikuja hapa from the very beginning, before he defected from Jubilee to join UDA. He was clearly in UDA. He was talking, standing on the position. Mtu wa msimamo. You know, that's how a leader should be like. You know, and so this coalition of the willing that I've seen, and respect him for that. And you get respected for that. That I may not agree with you, but I agree that you have your strong position. So I don't know about those cars you're talking about and everything. Now, finally, on the politics of betrayal, somebody has just sent me a message. He's called Alfred Obego. He's, I think, the former Secretary General of the Nurses Union. Very clever. He says that, why is every politician shouting about being played? And then he gives an example. He says, Mzee Moi played Baba and ran away with New KANU after merger of KANU and NDP. Kalonzo played Baba and ran away with ODM Kenya. Kibaki played Baba and ran away with NAK after merger of NAK and LDP. Kalonzo played Mudavadi and ran away with OKA after loose merger of Wiper and ANC. And finally, he says Ruto is playing Mudavadi and will run away with Kenya Kwanza after loose merger with UDA and ANC. So, you know, and that's what I talk about. So
you totally agree with that reading of...
Well, I think what he's talking about is historical. How people come together and then all of a sudden one is left komata, mwingine anaenda mbele. And that's historical. And so it says that when you see these coalitions, they are coming in because of political interest, but also personal interests. People don't want to be left out. People want to get into a place where they can continue with their history. The reason I like Raila Odinga is his consistency. You know, I had a lot of propaganda against Raila Odinga. Let me admit here on air. Tulimchapa sana when I was the government spokesman working for Kibaki. And you see, even I give myself as an example again. When I was working for Kibaki, Kibaki had no doubts at all about my loyalty to him. And if he heard that I had gone to see Raila at night in his home, Kibaki would laugh because you'd know niko na kampango kakutoanisha Raila. Si ati nimedefect usiku nafanya mambo mengine. Niko na msimamo, anajua huyo ukiona mtu ameenda kuona Raila usiku, siku za Kibaki ni Raila tunampangia tumalize. Umeona kisiasa. Because as a man of principle. But now when I've interacted with Raila Odinga and I've decided I'll support Raila Odinga, I've realized that this is a man who, regardless of everything, is very consistent in his position, in his fight for democracy, in the way he treats people, in what he does. He's Azimio la Umoja, something that he came up with a long time ago if you look at history. So he realized, okay, this is not a person who, yes, he wants power, but he also has an idea of where Kenya should be and what Kenyans should be like. And that's why I support him. Not because of just positions or anything. It's because we come to a point in our time we ask ourselves, we're 60 years down the line. Why is the gap between the rich and the poor are getting bigger? 60 years down the line. Why is some constituencies, some children, I've never seen a tarmac road? 60 years down the line of independence, why are we feeling that children are going to school, college, want to graduate, and their siblings are still at home with no jobs? 60 years down the line, why are we seeing the frustration with our border guys where they're molesting women, you know, and getting away with it? And they have been doing it for a long time. So we have to ask ourselves, what's wrong with our country? How come other countries like Serbia, near South Korea, Croatia, why are they doing better than we are? We have to ask ourselves, maybe it comes to a point to say enough is enough. Let's unite our country. Let's do an about turn and correct and get into the right path. And I think that Raila Odinga is well placed to be the Mandela of this country, where he says, let him correct the mistakes and let the young Turks like ourselves take over now in a country that is stable. Okay. Let's stabilize that.
I think he's saying what Kalonzo Musyoka was trying to say, that after 2-3 years into, if they form government between 2013 and 2017, they would start running government. But on the issue of Azimio coalition being the coalition of the willing, is very unfortunate because what he's saying Mandela moment, Raila Odinga wants to unite the country. I think it is contrary. You heard what Raila Odinga said yesterday, and I would have expected the DCI and IG and State House gatekeepers to be summoning Raila or even arresting him to record a statement with the police, and it was played even by your media house, that he made a comment the same term that Senator Mithika Linturi used in Eldoret. And if we have the law being equal, you can imagine somebody who is being called Mandela talking that we should we should not elect so and so simply because he is not part of us, and you're talking about the unity of the country. So we would have expected, if the law, by the way, Waiga applies similar, I hope the party leader of ODM should today record the statement with the police of what he said, because Senator Mithika Linturi used the same term. He didn't even sleep that night. The police were all over. I was there. Now we have seen the party leader of ODM making the similar term that he's using yesterday in Wajir, a rally. He should also be summoned and write a statement with the police. I even expected Governor Mutua to apologize, or even to apologize as part of the Azimio coalition. Number two, Mithika Linturi then apologize. Baba has not even apologized. So Governor Mutua, you should have started in the show by apologizing to the country. Because you are the same people, by the way, Waiga, who are calling press conference, arrest Mithika Linturi, arrest Senator Linturi, these Kenya Kwanza are not good people, arrest them. Why are you so saying now? Senator,
even as you pose that question, coalitions, when Deputy President William Ruto, Musalia Mudavadi were out of the country, a storm erupted. It began in this studio when Gachagua stated clearly that in this coalition called Kenya Kwanza, the deputy president's seat in that coalition is taken already.
Yes.
Are you sure it's smooth sailing right now?
But personally, I have not seen something out of the ordinary. Although it's beyond my paycheck, because the principles of Kenya Kwanza can handle such issues at the top level.
Who are the principles of Kenya Kwanza?
Of course, Senator Moses Wetangula, Musalia Mudavadi, and His Excellency the Deputy President William Ruto.
So there are three principles.
Yeah, of course, there are a number of other principles who are part of it. And the decision will be made at the level after, and I've said after the NDC, when William Ruto is given the nod by UDA to be a presidential candidate of UDA. But as much as I know, of course, it has been said before, and regarding Gachagua is one of the high-ranking members of UDA, and he's also high-ranking members of Kenya Kwanza. From where I sit, I think the deputy president definitely will come from Mount Kenya. It is given. I don't think that's a discussion we should be having. Government, by the way, does not involve on the running mate position. Even Governor Mutua, the reason he wanted to be the president, we used to campaign for him in this studio. We used to campaign boarding trains around the city. We used to believe he's going. But now he went into Azimio. He has not gotten a running mate position. We are not even aware whether he will get a minister or even assistant minister or a director of a corporation. But he's telling us here, I will just support Raila to win. Even if it will mean he will stay at home in Machakos. The point is that it doesn't mean that when you are joining a coalition, it means that you must be a running mate or a deputy president. But for now, I think within the talks that within Kenya Kwanza, the deputy president or the running mate will be from Mount Kenya. And the question will come in, Waiga, what are you bringing to the table? And that is why Kalonzo Musyoka is disturbing their minds. Because if you have 1.6 million votes, and Kalonzo is commanding that, you know, somebody like Charity Ngilu will lose. She will not be elected as a governor of Uketui. Kivuta Gebwana is playing safe because he's exiting politics. Him is exiting politics. You should ask him in 2013 and 2017 he was supporting Jubilee. Why? Because he knew that Jubilee then was very popular. So from where we sit is that, what do you bring in the table? When you talk about the Western Kenya, when you talk about Ukambani region, when you talk about Mount Kenya, when you talk about Rift Valley, when you talk about both the larger Nyanza, both Luo Nyanza and Kisii Nyanza. So what are you bringing to the table? And that is why you cannot have a Turkana or an James or somebody from Dagoria clan or somewhere being discussed as a possible running mate. And you have seen even Tinga, the word has it that the running mate might come from Mount Kenya, and that could be the reason why people like Kalonzo Musyoka and others are very cagey about joining the Azimio la Umoja coalition. But I want to assure you, anybody who will join Kenya Kwanza will have an equal opportunity. Even if today Governor Mutua decides that he wants to join the bottom-up economic model, is more than welcome, because we believe government is enough for everybody.
Government is enough for everybody. Let's take a break here. My goodness, what a discussion we're having. When we come back, I'll allow Governor Mutua to respond. We'll take a look at the impact of these foreign tours that we're seeing our leaders embarking on. The Deputy President expected to jet back this weekend. We know Musalia got back this morning, while ODM leader Raila Odinga heading out a few days from now, expected to speak at Chatham House. What is the impact of these tours? What was your assessment of the Deputy President's tour as well? And how does it fit into the campaign season as we build up to that August general election? 22422 is the SMS line. Hashtag Daybreak. I'll also allow my guests to weigh in a little bit on the border question this morning. It's been a big discussion this week. Stay with us. We'll be right back.